Apple's new iPhone XS and XS Max models introduced last week will have dual SIM functionality, including an eSIM. At first sight, this may not seem like much. Dual SIM smartphones have been around for a while. Whitebridge thinks the actual inclusion of the eSIM in the iPhones is a very significant move for the industry, great news for consumers, but also a mixed blessing for carriers. Unlike the physical SIM we all know, the removable piece of plastic with a chip that identifies the mobile carrier which must be pulled out of a phone every time the user wants to change providers. The eSIM technology includes a tiny chip that is soldered directly into the phone's circuit board during manufacture. The eSIM can then be programmed over the air to use or change providers. Smartphone manufacturers gain the internal space that would have been taken by the physical SIM, and the related tray and reader, or they can launch dual SIM phones using a tiny fraction of extra space, as Apple has done. For now Apple's move is limited. The eSIM technology is enabled by just over a dozen carriers in 10 markets including the US, UK, Germany, Spain and India. But this move matters a lot more for the future. Apple has just made it much easier for other smartphone manufacturers to deploy the eSIM technology into their future smartphone models. While the eSIM was already available with Google's Pixel 2 phone, most major smartphone manufacturers have so far held back on deploying it to avoid antagonizing carriers. The eSIM technology has been viable for years, but many mobile operators have until now pushed back on its deployment in smartphones, as it makes switching providers much easier. It was originally developed for M2M applications, such as smart meters and connected cars where remote programmability is at a real premium. It was recently deployed in wearables such as the Apple Watch and Samsung Gear, which have no space for physical SIMs. Smartphone manufacturers began looking at using the eSIM much more intensely only recently. They need additional gains in internal space, battery life, and water resistance, as well as to cater to the growing consumer demand for dual SIM devices. So it was all but inevitable that the eSIM technology would find its way into smartphones, with Apple at the forefront.